Today I'm going through an underrated piece of photography advice, something I know I wish I heard a lot more when I was starting out, therefore I feel a lot of new photographers may benefit from hearing this as well. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. The most popular photography advice you'll ever hear is to make sure you're shooting in golden hour. We all know this, unless you're a 13-year-old using Google for the first time. And yeah, golden hour is great, the light's lovely and soft and it makes for beautiful photos. We all know this, and no way am I saying you shouldn't shoot in golden hour. That would be completely ridiculous. The main problem I have with the repetitiveness of that advice is that it's kind of telling photographers, new ones especially, that shooting in golden hour is going to be the main factor to you achieving good photographs, or the main recipe for you going out and coming back with results you're happy with, which is just not the case at all. The underrated and much better advice I wish people preached more is to learn and practice how to handle shooting in all conditions at any time of the day. To put that simply in the most advice-y phrase way that I can, basically, you can take good photos anywhere at any time of the day. I've just been kind of stopped in my tracks. See what I did there? Not just a pretty face. F5, 1/1000 for the shutter, ISO 160. I like that, it's really nice. In autumn time, I think that background over there might be quite orange, so it's great that I'm here today to sort of get some shots on my radar for when autumn comes around. So learning where to go and what to look for in any conditions at any time of the day allows you to become a much more rounded photographer with a much more diverse collection of work. If you're going to write off shooting every day there isn't a sunset, or let's say you go on holiday to a stunning place and you're only taking photos at the start and the end of the day, you'd be missing out on so many incredible photos that could be included in your gallery or portfolio if your belief is that the only part of the day worth your time is golden hour. Also, before the Dave and Barrys come out and start getting angry in the comment section, obviously I know there's other favourable conditions for photography. You've got foggy days, moody days and stuff like that. But let's take blue skies for an example. People talk all the time about blue midday skies and how you should do everything in your power to avoid shooting in harsh daylight, but I can use one example to debunk that straight away. One of my biggest inspirations, Kyle McDougall, incredible photographer, he has a project named An American Mile, and it's pretty much made up of photos entirely shot with blue skies in the middle of the day, and it's just a beautiful body of work. So if that one project alone doesn't change your mind, then another reason why I wish shooting in all conditions at any time of day is possible was preached more often is because a lot of people only have a small amount of time to work with each day or each week, and not everybody can plan their entire photography existence around the perfect conditions. When I first started out, I'd go weeks or months without using my camera because it was so ingrained in my mind that there was no point in really going out unless I had time to chase a sunset, or I woke up one day and it was like ridiculously foggy or something like that. And that's one of the worst positions you can put yourself in as a photographer, because if you're never told or you don't learn how to shoot in any conditions at any time of day, it can probably lead to photographers just not bothering whatsoever because they think there's no point unless they get out in those golden hours. Another problem with not diversifying the conditions you shoot in is that becoming obsessed with the best light or finding the best sunset or getting up for the best sunrise can quickly become the primary goal of a photography outing instead of just finding the best subject or the best photograph. And I see this all the time, you know, someone's headed out for a crazy sunset, magical light, banging sky, but when you subtract all of that away from the photograph, it's often, sadly, a photograph of nothing. Not to say obviously there isn't people out there shooting in these conditions that are getting incredible images. Remember, that is not the point of this video. I'm not telling you not to shoot in golden hour, but the problem is people do come obsessed with finding that best sky or that best light rather than what they're actually photographing. If somebody heads out in what the photography community consider to be bad conditions and they can't take just one single nice image, then to me that sounds a bit more like it's a skill that needs improving rather than the conditions that have been the problem in the photography outing. Okay, my last point for this video, and this might be a little bit more down to personal taste, but a gallery or an Instagram profile or a website that's only full of golden hour photos is just a little bit boring, right? I don't think anybody wants to be a one-trick pony the same way as if all you did was take a photo of the same building over and over again. That'll get boring pretty quickly. I know a building is obviously way more repetitive than golden hour in different locations, but this just kind of backs up what I'm saying about diversifying your work and the conditions that you shoot in, so your portfolio has some nice variation to it rather than just sunset, 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 sunrise, sunrise. And if you're still not convinced, pick up a copy of any Photographer of the Year book and you'll see how diverse the conditions are. To conclude and put all of the information that I've been going on about in this video into a bite-sized statement, favourable conditions do exist, yes. This isn't a video to hate on golden hour or golden hour photographers at all. I hope I made that clear. But this is a video to say you can get great photos in any conditions at any time of the day, and you're better off learning what's best to shoot, where to go and what to look for given the conditions you're dealt with on the day, rather than just believing that the only time in the day worth your time for photography is at the very start and the very end. If you're somebody that can't get up for sunrise, can't stay out for sunset, anything like that, you've got a small window in the middle of the day. Believe me, you can get good photos in that time that you've got. I'm not really sure why I decided to come and stand on this log. It is the slippiest thing I've ever stood on in my life.